ago, before I took my massive long break, I filmed a video called South African History Movies, and that was movies that was based on the history of South Africa. A few of those films were filmed in South Africa, but this video is solely based on movies that were filmed in South Africa. They don't even have to be about South African history. The first movie I have is called Ayanda, and I haven't watched this movie. I have not watched Ayanda, but from the name of the movie, I can guess it is about South African history. The next movie I have is Free Willy, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, it's the third Free Willy movie, or the first one. But one of the Free Willy movies was filmed in South Africa. The next movie I have is Tomb Raider, so it's the new Tomb Raider with, I can't remember her name, but it's the newest Tomb Raider. The next movie I have that I think a lot of people will know if you are a fan of Dylan O'Brien or the Maze Runner trilogy, it is Scorch Trials. From someone who is from South Africa and watched them film parts of it, because there's a massive scene in the movie where they're running through, I suppose, the train station or like the headquarters or something, and that is filmed in the place where I would go every single morning and every single evening going from school. That was just the massive bus station, and it was really cool seeing them. I remember my friend and I, we literally would like stalk them, trying to find them. I did see a few of them, and I did meet Thomas Brody Sangster, which was really cool. That was also filmed in Cape Town. The next two movies I have are Afrikaans movies. Have not watched them. I do like a few Afrikaans movies, but yeah. So the movies I have is Sy Klink Soos Lente. Don't ask me to translate that. I know it's something she something length. That's all I got. And the next movie is Diko Kos Skat. The cold food skat. And skat, I think, skat is just a friend. That's probably not even the translation, but ko is like it's cold, kos is food, and skat is just a friend, and di is obviously the. So I think putting it together it does mean that, but probably the wrong description of what it means. But anyway, I have not seen those. The next movie I have is Chappie, and this is a South African movie. I don't think it was supposed to be South African, but the two main characters were South African, and you could clearly hear they're South African, and they're a band called Die Antwoord, and they were in it. That's all I've really got to say about it, because I didn't massively like the film, but my brother loved it. But that was also filmed in South Africa. The next movie I have, I think, is from a South African director, and it was filmed in South Africa, but I've also not seen it, and it's called Happiness is a Four-Letter Word. Have not seen it. A lot of these movies I haven't seen. The next movie I have mentioned in the previous South African history movie, because it is based on South African history and it was filmed in South Africa, and that is Cry Freedom. The next two movies I have are Red Dust and The Giver. Can't say anything about Red Dust, but The Giver I have seen. It's quite a futuristic movie. It's obviously going into the future and I suppose keeping control of the population. The next few movies, a lot of these movies have had blogs and stuff written about it because it's got pretty big names in it, but the first one I have is Blended, which was filmed in, I think, the Gold Reef City in Joburg, and it's basically where two families, I suppose, come together and go on a typical African safari and an African adventure. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. And you could tell it was South African, and it also had really big names in, like Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, Bella Thorne, what's his name? He's the host of America Got Talent's The Champions. Terry Crews, I think. He was also in it. And didn't know this, but Avengers Age of Ultron was filmed in South Africa. Did not know that. Okay, cool. Now that I think about it, Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom was also filmed in South Africa, but that is also based on history. There was a movie that I watched on the plane to England called Invictus, which I don't think I mentioned it in my South African histories movies video, but it's Invictus, and that's basically during apartheid about the South African rugby team going on tour. I also mentioned this movie once again in my other video, and it's a South African history movie, and it's called The Bang Bang Club, and that was filmed either in Joburg or in Cape Town, and it was definitely filmed in Durban, I know that. So that was also filmed in Cape Town, which was really, really interesting. And I really enjoyed that movie, even though it touched on very difficult subjects. I think I've actually mentioned all of the movies that I can think of right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully next week's video is a lot more interesting, and that is gonna be on my scars and their meanings. So hopefully that's not a morbid video to watch, but I'll see you guys next week. Bye!